Hello, Year 2, it's Miss Addy. Our learning question for maths today asks us, can I organise information into a pictogram? Our steps to success say, I can read information and display it as a pictogram. I can use my pictogram to compare information, and I can answer questions using my pictogram. Our first star word is pictogram, which we're going to find out a little bit later. We've also got the words information and data because we represent information and data on our pictogram. We've got the word compare. So that means we can compare information and data on our pictogram, and the words most and least. So just to remind ourselves about what we learned yesterday, we were finding out about tally charts. And a tally chart is a way of representing information. We draw tallies to show a number. Yesterday we had a go at making our own tally charts, and to make our own tally charts we had to use tally marks. This tally mark shows me the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, the number 4, and then the number 5, which is a special number when we're making tally marks because we draw our 4 lines and then we cross the gate, which means we draw a diagonal line across to show us number 5. And then we continue doing this with bigger numbers, with larger numbers, by just adding on an extra line or 2 to show us the new number. So this shows us the number 6, the number 7, the number 8, the number 9, and the number 10, which was 2 groups of 5. So today we're learning about pictograms. Pictograms are an important part of statistics, which is what we're learning about right now. So what is a pictogram? There's a big clue in the first 4 letters of the word, pict. Sounds a bit like the word picture. A pictogram is a chart which uses pictures or symbols to represent numbers. Sometimes we call a pictogram a pictograph. So this is an example of a pictogram, and you can see pictures drawn inside the pictogram. So pictograms can be represented in different ways. So as you can see, the top pictogram, the pictures are going horizontally. That means this direction. But the pictogram underneath, the pictures are represented vertically. That means this direction. So let's have a look at this pictogram here. So on a pictogram, you will see the items or objects that we're looking at. So this pictogram shows us the number of fruits. So going down the left-hand side, we've got the objects there, which is the fruit names. Then pictures are drawn to show each amount. So instead of having numbers or tallies or anything else, we actually have pictures of the fruit to show the number of each fruit. And each picture is the same size, so that is consistent. And pictograms will often have something called a key. And the key will show you the value of each picture. So this key tells us that one picture equals one child. So as you can see, they're very similar to our tally charts, but instead of tallies, we have pictures. Now, yesterday, we made a tally chart all about the animals that we saw at the zoo. This was part of our tally chart. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make our own pictogram using the tally chart from yesterday. Right now, it's a blank pictogram. There's nothing there. So we need to put in the correct things. Let's start with the bottom, so going across horizontally. We need to put in our objects or our items. So using our tally chart today, that's the animals at the zoo. So we've got lions, elephants, penguins, tigers, pandas, and giraffes. And now going vertically, you can see the numbers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And as you can see, the numbers are going up vertically. So now we're going to fill in our pictogram, and we're going to use the first item in our tally chart, and that's the lions. How many lions do we have? 6. So we saw 6 lions, which means we need to draw 6 pictures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in our pictogram, we have 6 pictures of lions. So we move on to the next part of our pictogram, and in our tally chart, it tells us it's elephants. How many elephants did we see at the zoo? 2. This means we only need to draw 2 elephants. 1, 2. The next part we need to fill in is the number of penguins. How many penguins did we see? 4. This means we need to draw 4 penguins. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, we can start to compare our amounts. Let's move on to the number of tigers. How many tigers did we have? 5. So that means we draw 5 pictures of 5 tigers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's move on to the number of pandas. How many pandas did we see? 3. This means 3 pictures. 1, 2, 3. And the last item in our tally chart is the number of giraffes. How many giraffes did we see? We saw 10. This means we draw 10 pictures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we completed our pictogram, and we can use our pictogram to help us interpret data. But what does interpreting data mean? It sounds very, very tricky, but all interpreting data is that it means we're working out what a table or a chart or a graph shows us, and then we're able to answer questions about the information. So today we made a pictogram, and our pictogram showed us the number of animals we saw at the zoo. And interpreting data means that we can answer questions using our pictogram to help us. So here is our completed pictogram, and it's really, really helpful because it's very easy to compare numbers. Looking at that, you can straight away see what is the most common animal and which is the least. So we can now interpret the data, which means we can answer questions about the data. So which animal did I see the most? So have a look at the pictogram, and can you see which animal we saw most often? That means which was the largest number. It was the giraffes because we saw 10 giraffes, and that was a much larger number than any of the other animals. Which animal did I see the least? And that means not a lot of. So have a look at the pictogram, and which animal did we not see that much? Good, it's the elephant, because we only saw 2 elephants, and 2 is the smallest number shown in the pictogram. So did I see fewer penguins or pandas? So now we need to just look at the number of penguins, and we need to look at the number of pandas. Which did we see fewer? Fewer is another word for less. Good, we saw fewer pandas because we saw 3 pandas and we saw 4 penguins, and 3 is a smaller number than 4. Did I see more tigers or more lions? So now we need to look at the lions and look at the tigers. Which did we see more of? So which is a greater number? Good, the lions, because we saw 6 lions and we only saw 5 tigers. and 6 is a larger number than 5. So your task for today is you're going to use the tally chart below to make your own pictogram. So I've made a tally chart here all about fruit and the number of children that picked it as their favourite fruit. I've got my tally marks. I haven't got the total number, so the first thing you're going to have to do is work out the total number of each fruit. Then you're going to use this information to make your own pictogram. Now remember, a pictogram involves symbols or pictures. I think pictures would be good today, so you could draw pictures of the number of apples, oranges, pineapples, watermelons, and strawberries. You could do this vertically, so going up, like we just did, or you could do it horizontally, so going across. It's up to you how you want to do it. Enjoy your task, you two. Goodbye.